Guys, it's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be reacting to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. We do have a lot of topics to discuss. Firstly, Barcelona are analyzing the operation of bringing Vitor Roque to the club this summer, but it will be a damn near impossible operation. His current club do not want to let him leave to Barcelona this month under any means circumstances, but we do have the update on his potential arrival this summer, along with the potential arrival of Neymar. Again, Joan Laporta, the president, is pushing for Neymar to sign to help with shirt sales, filling up the Montjuic Stadium, bringing in new sponsors. But Xavi does not want to sign Neymar because he does not really want him in the dressing room. He thinks he will disrupt the harmony. But Laporta is trying to convince Xavi to give the green light for the Neymar transfer. We also have some of the details of the operation of how Neymar will join Barcelona this summer, and of course the club are in the market for a right back this summer. A new name has emerged as an option in Pablo Maffeo, who has been offered to Barcelona. We also have an update on Ivan Fresneda, Joao Cancelo, and Juan Foyth. Also have an update on Marco Verratti potentially joining Barcelona as well. But of course, with players coming in, there will have to be sales this summer. We have two big updates on the sale of Franck Kessie, which is official, and Ousmane Dembele that should be official at some point today. Update on Ansu Fati leaving as well. Update on Abde and also other players staying. We have a lot of updates in regards to news around the club. Barcelona have signed a new deal for video games with Konami. The third kit has been leaked images officially. Amazon documentary day, we have that new set. We have an injury update on Christensen, and of course the club needed to activate an economic lever to register all the players for the game on Sunday, and they have activated that lever. They have sold 16% of Barca Studios to a Germany financial company for 60 million euros. We do have the details on that, and also Rafinha and Ferran Torres getting new shirt numbers as well. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get to 200 likes in this video. Be very much appreciated. Also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Let's start off with the transfer news over the past 48 hours. Now we're firstly going to be discussing Barcelona's pursuit in the right back position, which, as we all know, is a clear priority for the club. We've talked about, the regular names a lot over recent weeks. A new name in that position has emerged, or you could say re-emerged. His name was mentioned earlier on in the window, and that is Pablo Maffeo, the right wing back from Real Mallorca. Now, Javi Miguel came out breaking the news saying that Pablo Maffeo has been offered to Barcelona, and he's the chosen one by the club ahead of Juan Foyth, Joao Cancelo, and Ivan Fresneda. The deal can be done from around 6 to 8 million euros. Now, when Javi Miguel uses the chosen one, I really hate when he does that because he leaves it very, very vague. He just basically means that he's been offered. I mean, saying that he's the chosen one is a bit annoying, but it is what it is. But hopefully that's not the case, because Joan Laporta came out saying that Pablo Maffeo has been offered to Barcelona, but it's more of a movement from his environment than from the club. So the rumors are mainly coming from his environment, and that he's been offered to Barcelona, but Barcelona currently have not responded to said interest. I mean, I would take Ivan Fresneda, Arnau Martinez, Joao Cancelo, and Juan Foyth all over Pablo Maffeo. Would I rather bring Pablo Maffeo in or no one? I'd lean towards no one, because this is 6 to 8 million euros that you're gonna have to, of course, reinvest next summer. He has no long-term future whatsoever. I mean, I do not see him as a starter. It's an operation that screams short-term, last-second fix, which I'm not really that for. Again, you're probably gonna spend 10 million total with the transfer fee, sign-on bonus, commission for the agent. It's not worth it, in my opinion. Just add an extra 10 million and you can get Fresneda or Juan Foyth. Not Juan Foyth, or Arnau Martinez. Like, there's better options out there for just a bit more money. If there's like a huge gap, like from 8 million to, let's say, 30, then you know what, it makes sense. But from 8 to 10, from 8 to 20, sorry, should I say, there's no gap that you're trying to close down, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So we'll wait and see. I think it's an option on the table for sure. It's been an option from months ago when I first brought it up, but I think, again, the club are more focusing on a high-level profile player. There are still reports saying that Xavi's favorite is Joao Cancelo. He wants Joao Cancelo to join the club this summer. Again, we could be looking at a loan for Joao Cancelo, then sign Fresneda or sign Arnau Martinez. I love that. Joan Laporta is still saying that Xavi really wants Juan Foyth, so as long as we sign a right back, in my opinion, it's happy days for me. So wait and see what happens. But again, Pablo Maffeo, a right back, Right wing back, you could say Spanish from Real Mallorca, has been offered to Barcelona, and he's now added to the list of the right back options for the club. Now, along with the right back, the club are also looking to sign a new midfielder this summer as well. Of course, a more creative midfielder in the number 10 position. We've been linked a lot with Bernardo Silva and Giovanni Lo Celso, but a new name as well as the right back position has also emerged in the midfield, and it is Marco Verratti. Now, the news broke from RMC Sport from Luca Tanzi, who is actually a very, very reliable journalist, especially in France. He's come out saying that Barcelona are very attentive to the situation of Marco Verratti. Now, if you don't know the situation of Marco Verratti, he was rumored to be going to Saudi Arabia, a Saudi Arabian club, I forget which one it was. Al Hilal Al Ahly bid around, I think, 40 million euros for Verratti. Verratti has agreed personal terms, which means he wants to make the move, but PSG don't want to sell him for that price. They want a bit more money. No, I would not go for Verratti. The time to get him was in, I think, what was it, 2017, 2018? That's what the time was to get him. I think Verratti is a fantastic player on his day. Definitely a Barcelona player on his day. But his day is about once a month a season. This man, I think, along with Ousmane Dembele, is the most injury-prone player I've ever seen in my days of watching football. I remember last year, he was playing very well for like 2 months. Champions League comes around, he's out for 2 months. I mean, this man is not reliable in any way, shape, or form. I'd rather play Noah Darvik for the entire season in the midfield than have 1 or 2 months of Verratti. And I am being 100% genuinely serious. There is no point of spending 40 plus million on someone who's going to give you 1 to 2 months of playing time at most. Now, Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Marco Verratti wants to stay in Europe for at least 3 more years, and Barcelona could be a great incentive for him. Well, if he wants to stay, then why is he agreeing personal terms with Saudi Arabia? Doesn't make sense to me. Look, if we're talking just on ability, Verratti for me is world class. He's one of the best midfielders I've seen, easily top 20, top 50. I've seen with my own 2 eyes. I think, of course, there's 50 other midfielders better than him, but brilliant player. And I think if he wasn't injury prone, you could look at this. Again, he's around 30, 31 years old, so he is reaching the end of his career. He is probably in his peak years right now, and he's still getting injured left, right, and center. But I think he's too much of a risk. You're spending upwards of 40, 50 million euros on a player who studies show he'll give you like 1 or 2 months of a season max. So I personally wouldn't go for it, but it looks like Barcelona are keeping an eye on a situation, so we'll wait and see what happens. But it looks like Marco Verratti has been added to the list of Barcelona for possible signing in the creative midfield role. Now, the player that has been linked with Barcelona the most over the past 48 hours has been Neymar. We do have some updates on his potential transfer to Barcelona. Now, Joaquin Pereira, who of course is the #1 source in regards to Brazilian players joining or leaving Barcelona, he's come out saying there's a real possibility that Neymar's future will be linked to Barcelona. Neymar wanted to come back just 2 months after leaving Barcelona. He regretted his decision to join PSG immediately. We already knew that. Sky is blue, grass is green. Sport is still reporting that the deal that Neymar's agent and Laporta's close friend is working on is for Neymar to join a Saudi Arabia club and then be loaned to Barcelona for 1 year. That still doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why a random Saudi Arabia club would help us. Apparently, because Saudi Arabia want to use Barcelona's name as a marketing tool. This will, help with some of the negotiations. I mean, I heard the same thing with Messi, so I wouldn't really look into that too much. Roger Toledo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that there is an internal debate going on at Barcelona regarding Neymar. Xavi does not want to sign him because he believes Neymar can disrupt the harmony in the dressing room, but Laporta wants to sign him because he believes Neymar will give Barcelona new sponsors, increase sales, and of course fill the stadium. Now, the Montjuic in the Joan Laporta match was not that great, 38,000 only, but the Golden Nor, the chanting section, was not there. They were on strike because the club don't want to give them tickets to all of them. They want to give them tickets to only some of them, and they've been going on strike saying either a whole group of us join or none of us will go. So I think the other club will buckle. Same thing with the Frankfurt situation. So 38,000 for a 56,000 capacity when we're getting 56,000 every single match day last season in the Camp Nou. I guess you could say Camp Nou, the location is different, people are used to it, so a lot of if buts and maybe, but I think definitely Neymar would bring in search sales for sure, and new sponsors, absolutely, and he'll definitely fill the stadium. I have no doubts about that. But over recent hours, the Neymar rumors have definitely taken a different route, as Fabrizio Romano's come out saying the intention of both PSG and Neymar is to part ways this summer. It's important to see if Xavi agrees to activate Barcelona's operation to sign him. And again, Fabrizio Romano is still adamant that Barcelona know what they need and how to sign Neymar. So whether it's a loan, termination of contract, they pay a small loan fee, the salary that Neymar wants, Barcelona knows all the conditions of the deal and whether or not probably internally they can meet that or not. It's just now about Xavi's green light. Now, Goal, which is a news outlet in Brazil, is saying that Xavi is now close to saying yes to the signing of Neymar, and also The Independent came out saying that Neymar to Barcelona is advancing. A loan deal with a purchase obligation of 60 million euros is gaining strength. Look, until there's something really concrete, I would look into it. I would have to agree with Xavi that I personally would not bring in Neymar. There's been some shirt number changes, which we'll talk about at the end of the video, but essentially, for Neymar to have shirt sales, I don't think the club wanted to have, number 17 or number 25 or 22. They wanted to have a decent number. All of these numbers have been taken up. The only decent number that's probably left, you could say, is 10, but that means it would require the sale of Ansu Fati. I would rather keep Ansu Fati than bring in Neymar. You're probably thinking, you're crazy. Neymar is, of course, better than Ansu Fati. Of course he is. But Ansu Fati, there's more of a long-term future with him. I'm not spending 60 million euros on a 31 injury-prone Brazilian winger who sometimes is good. And the fact that this saga is still going on in 2023 is absolutely beyond me. If Xavi does not want him, do not bring him in. If Xavi has to be convinced to bring him in, that should say enough that there's a lack of confidence in the player. Apparently, Laporta is trying to convince Xavi to say yes to Neymar. If it's a simple loan, cover 40% of his salary, whatever the case may be, then fine. But by obligations and paying for him is a big no for me, because there's no long-term future. You're gonna spend 60 million euros on Neymar next summer when you can buy Zubamendi for that price, who's a player that we will need next summer, or maybe a Joshua Kimmich who'll have 1 year left on his deal with Bayern Munich, could be available for around that price. A player that you actually need. What right back we get signed this summer? We probably need a right back next summer. There's all these situations where we do not need to Neymar. The only reason why the club want Neymar is because he's a market opportunity. He's available for cheap. Bring him in for a year, let him play, shirt sales, blah blah blah. Then he dips. But the fact that the club are trying to convince Xavi to give the green light says enough. I think the lack of confidence in Xavi will really hinder this operation, but we'll wait and see. Xavi has been quite clear. Well, I don't know. Xavi's not spoken to the media, but according to the media, it's been quite clear that Xavi does not want Neymar. But again, the club are still trying to persuade him to change his mind. Now, another attacker who is desperate to join Barcelona this summer alongside Neymar is Joao Felix. Now, Joaquin Pereira, again, when it comes to general news, he's kind of all right. But when it comes to, of course, Brazilian news, he's top tier. He's come out saying that Barcelona are still considering signing Joao Felix as an option. Do not rule this out quite yet. Joan Laporta has given the approval of the signing of Joao Felix. He's convinced that Joao Felix is the right profile to succeed at Barcelona. This is what I don't get again with Laporta. He says in the media, look, Xavi signs the players, Aleman and Deco, they all decide. I know nothing about, he knows stuff about football, but he pays them to make the decisions and make the movements. Laporta cannot pick players because he likes them. I am telling you now for free. Free information for you, Laporta. Felix will not work at Barcelona because he is a second striker. We saw at Chelsea he was playing a striker, did not play great. In Xavi's system, where would Felix fit? Would he fit as a false 9? No. Second striker Lewandowski. If Xavi plays that way, sure. On the wings, no. Where is he going to play? You're telling me we're going to change our whole entire system and formation to fit Joao Felix? Does not make sense whatsoever. I think Felix is a fantastic player, but I don't think he fits the mold, the system, the style of Barcelona right now. For me, this would be an operation if we end up doing it because we need an attacker, we're desperate, and we want to do a favor to Jorge Mendes. That's the only reason why I can see Barcelona doing this deal. Nothing that benefits Barcelona whatsoever, just to benefit the player and maybe his agent. Again, I think all these rumors are still intact, are still alive because Felix came out publicly saying that he wants to join Barcelona. I think if he didn't say that, I would be talking about Felix right now. I think that's the only reason why his name is still being mentioned in the media a lot. But we'll wait and see. Again, this will drag out to the end of the window until September 1st. We're going to hear about Joao Felix every single day. Again, he is an option on the table. But again, like with Neymar, it depends on Xavi's green light. Now, a player who did receive Xavi's green light this summer is, of course, Vitor Roque, a player that we have already signed this summer. but yet there is news about him. This is why Barcelona Football Club is very unique. Tell me another club who signs a player, but yet there is still a transfer saga around him. Madness. Again, quick refresh. We have signed Vitor Roque officially for 35 million euros, plus I think 20 or 30 in variables, but of course his arrival is set for January of 2024 because Barcelona at the time we signed him did not anticipate they would have the financial fair play margin to register him. Of course now Kessie is left, Dembele is left, we have that space and we are looking to bring him in. Now Goal came out saying, of course Goal, the news outlet in Brazil, several things have come together and some meetings with Atletico Palmeiras will be needed, but Barcelona have already decided they will incorporate Vitor Roque this summer and he will 100% be the signing in Barcelona's attack. Again, Xavi's been saying since Dembele is left, we need to strengthen the attack. It could be Vitor Roque. Now Rocha Later from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona are already trying to advance the signing of Vitor Roque this summer. The player's agent Andre Curry, who has been in Barcelona recently, is returning to Brazil in the case that he has to mediate for any early arrival. Deco and Andre Curry both will have to try to persuade Atletico Palmeiras or reluctant to let Roque go as the Brazilian market is now closed and they can't bring any player in the case Roque leaves. So again, his club under any means circumstances do not want him leave. We all heard about this Copa Libertadores, how they were still in it. They have hence been knocked out. They lost on penalties the night of the Joan Gamper. So his club now are out of the Copa Libertadores. They're finished. The morning after, Joaquin Pereira was actually on Gigantes with Joao Demero, and of course Joaquin Pereira was all over this transfer, got everything spot on. He's come out saying that advancing the arrival of Vitor Roque in this transfer window means paying more money to Atletico Palmeiras. If Vitor Roque arrives now, it will be in the form of a transfer. In no case will it be a loan whatsoever. So again, if he doesn't arrive, we'll have to pay more money. Again, that transfer was set and paid for him to arrive in January 2024. That makes sense. How much we're talking, I have no idea. Now you're at a point where you've signed a player that you need now, but he will not be arriving in 2024. Again, it's all in the hands of his current club, Atletico Palmeiras. Now their CEO, Mateus, came out speaking to Fabrizio Romano. This is an exclusive from him. He came out saying there is no chance for Vitor Roque to leave and join Barcelona this month in August. He'll leave in January. That was the pact with Barcelona and it will be respected. We need him for the final 20 games of the league and to qualify for the next Copa Libertadores of 2024. So again, we heard that rumor as well, that if he got knocked out of this Copa Libertadores, he may be able to leave. And then the rumors came out that, I think it was from Goal as well, different reporter. They're like, they wanted to help him qualify for the next one, so he's not going to leave. I think we're at a point that Vitor Roque is not coming. Even if we had to pay more money, I realize I spelled unlikely wrong. My bad. I know how to spell it. Just, Anyways, Vitor Roque. I think he would. If I could do anything in the attack, it would be bring Vitor Roque in early. I wouldn't sign anyone else, your Carrasco's or whatever. Would not bring them in. But I'm still content with the attack that we have now. Ansu, Varane, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Lamine Yamal, Abde. That should be enough to help us survive from now until January. Then you can bring in Vitor Roque in. But Xavi is very adamant that he wants someone to come in to replace Dembele directly. I don't know if he counts Abde as a replacement. So that's why the club are looking into the Vitor Roque operation. But looks like now that is very, very unlikely. Atletico Palmeiras are very, very stubborn. They're very, very strict. The pact was agreed. The transfer was all part of the outlined contract that he will join in January 2024. And they have no means to negotiate or help Barcelona make the transfer a reality this summer. Let's now discuss the players who have been rumored to leave Barcelona over the past 48 hours. We do have an official sale from the club that was announced yesterday, and it is the sale of Franck Kessie to Al Ahly. Now, of course, at the time of his sale, the rumors were that fee was going to be around 15 million euros, no add-ons, just 15 fixed. We heard 14, but the club released an official statement saying that Barcelona and Al Ahly have reached an agreement for the transfer of Franck Kessie for 12.5 million euros. What a bargain for Al Ahly. Getting a player of Franck Kessie's caliber for 12.5 million euros is ridiculous. Of course, for Barcelona, the goal was to get rid of his wages. The player wasn't really fitting on Barcelona's plans, essentially. He would have stayed just because that no one would have bought them, and Xavi would have been happy to keep him. Wages, of course, getting those off the wage bill, very, very important, around 130,000 euros per week. Look, I wish Franck Kessie nothing but the best. He was a great player. I think his passing, was a bit off. Really wasn't suited for the Barcelona system. Of course, scored the iconic goal last second in the Clásico. He will be remembered for that. Give a very, very nice farewell message on Instagram as well. He said he'll always be a culé. A lot of the Barcelona players saying goodbye to him as well. We saw Lamine Yamal say goodbye, Ferran, Ansu, we saw Roberto. So he's very much well liked in the dressing room, and it will be a loss for Barcelona if we don't end up replacing him, hopefully. But I think the transfer is benefit for everyone. Kessie was not going to play. He goes and earns big bucks at El Ahly. He'll play there. Barcelona, we earned straight profit from his transfer. Again, we got him for free. He made the sacrifice to come for free and earn probably just under his valuation last summer when he was top prospect, winning Serie A as I think he was Milan captain behind Romagnoli and Zlatan, so he was definitely up there. Made the sacrifice, came in. Again, Barcelona makes straight profit from his transfer. I think 12.5 is still a scam. I can think of 10 clubs off the top of my head who should have signed Franck Kessie for more than £12.5 million. I mean, it makes, I don't know why I'm saying pounds, euros. It doesn't make sense for me whatsoever. This price is ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, how we went from the beginning of the summer demanding at least 30 million to then selling him for 12.5 shows Barcelona how desperate they are to sell players. When they reach a certain point, they will sell. And again, it's not because they want to recuperate a transfer fee, it's because they want to save on his wages. And that's how fucked FFP and the salary bill, the salary rules are in La Liga. If he didn't come for free, I think the club would have tried to get more money from him. But nonetheless, Franck El Presidente is gone, no longer a Barcelona player. Again, I wish him all the best in the future, and maybe our paths will cross again in the future down the line. I highly doubt it, but wish El Presidente all the best in his future years in football. Now, the next player that will be following Franck Kessie out the exit door is, of course, Ousmane Dembele. Multiple reports yesterday that he finished his medicals and passed all his medicals with Paris Saint-Germain, but again, Barcelona still holding off on the paperwork, which could come back to bite us right in the arse, because Fernando Polo late last night was reporting that PSG are running out of patience with the Dembele case and are threatening not to sign him if the deal isn't completed in the next 24 hours. They would then go on and sign him next summer for free. Again, PSG kind of, getting a bit fed up with Barcelona. Makes sense. Again, this transfer, ladies and gentlemen, will happen. Barcelona would rather sell him now for 50 than next summer lose him for free. No way back for Dembele. If he does not sign for PSG, he will sit on Barcelona's bench for the entire season. I don't think Xavi can persuade the staff, or the board, should I say, to play him when he's 100% leaving. It makes no sense whatsoever. So again, he will leave. The club will send the paperwork in the end, and we are expecting that Dembele will become an official PSG player in the next 24 hours. Now, of course, while we were negotiating with PSG for the clause and stuff of the Dembele transfer, they offered us some players. This was reported a lot from Joao Felix. And I told you guys, I think the players probably Fabian Ruiz, maybe a Juan Bernat, because they're both Spanish, and Barcelona Barcelona scouted them in the past. Again, now these names with the Dembele transfer are getting closer and closer to being done have been leaked. Now, Joao Felix, who did the initial report, came out saying that PSG offered Abde Diallo and also Fabian Ruiz to Barcelona in the Dembele deal, but the club rejected it. So the PSG were going to probably offer 20 million plus Fabian Ruiz or Diallo, the center back, but Barcelona said no. But Goal said that PSG offered Fabian Ruiz and also Juan Bernat to Barcelona, but again, the club said no. So the typical players that we expected that were offered. Again, Jordan Miller did say it was midfielders and fullbacks, so this makes sense. I think Diallo also plays at left back as well, so it kind of fits in what he was saying. Deadwood players that PSG don't want, that the club may take because they're Spanish. So it is what it is. I wouldn't have taken either of them. I think the ship sailed with Fabian Ruiz. I would take him 2 years ago when he was at Napoli. Juan Bernat, I think Bernat is better than Alonso. So if I had a seller for Alonso, I probably would have taken Bernat. Little backup option for Alejandro Balde, because of course Grimaldo joined Leverkusen for free. I probably would have taken Bernat if I had a buyer for Marcos Alonso. But nonetheless, the players have been offered. They have been rejected. But one thing that's not going to be rejected is Dembele joining PSG imminently. Now, a player that is thinking about leaving Barcelona and his future right now remains heavily in doubt is the future of Ansu Fati. Now, Fernando Porto from Deportivo came out saying that Xavi and the coaches are delighted with Ansu Fati's improvement recently. In the dressing room, they admit that he's a very good moment. He's very motivated. He trains with joy, and even his behavior now is less introverted and more expressive as a result of him feeling better and better. He's plugged in, and Xavi admits it. Xavi's words about Ansu Fati after the Gamper match holds true for other forwards too. He is satisfied with all of them, but in the case something irrefutable happens before the end of the transfer window, it can be considered. Fati is clear that he wants to stay at Barcelona and continue to fight for his place in the starting 11. Hopefully that is the case. I think Xavi is right when he was asked about Ansu Fati. He said, look, anyone's future can be decided with FFP. You know, anything could happen. So if Aston Villa comes and offer 50 million for Ferran Torres, the club are going to accept it. So, I mean, now we haven't been given from AS saying that Barcelona believe that a 50 million euro offer is a fair price for Ansu Fati, and Xavi won't force him to leave. And for me, that is a huge positive, because Ansu Fati, I think, has done enough in preseason to show that, look, I deserve a remontada season. I deserve one chance to fight for my spot. Yes, my last season wasn't that great, although my numbers were alright for the minutes that I did play. But again, I think this is a big moment for him this season. Again, with now Dembele leaving, it's a big opportunity. The front line is not set in stone. We knew it was going to be Rafinha, Dembele, Lewandowski. Dembele's out. It's time now for either Ferran, Abde, or Ansu to take that other spot on the left-hand side. And I think Ansu is the clear front runner at the moment. I think even Ferran Torres had a great preseason. I think Abde was alright. I think he did join a bit late with the under 21 or under 23 AFCONs, but I think giving Ansu Fati a chance is very important. We had some rumors about the weight of the number 10 shirt as well on Ansu, kind of, hindered him a bit, because at the time there was no one else who's gonna get number 10 except for Ansu. We thought that Barcelona might retire number 10 or might not give it to anyone, but they had to give it to Ansu Fati in order to register players, and it is what it is. He's kind of left in the unseen circumstance. We never thought he was going to be a replacement for Messi, but taking the number after Messi, it's a big number to hold, I must say. But nonetheless, I think Ansu Fati hopefully will end up staying, and unless a big offer comes in, he should be a Blaugrana by the end of this transfer window. Now, another winger that should also be staying by the end of this transfer window as well is, of course, Abde Ezzalzouli. This is coming in from Sport. They've come out saying that Abde has officially told Barcelona that he will stay at the club. He had minor doubts, but had made his final decision to continue. Now, this for me is crazy, because if Dembele did stay, he was never going to leave PSG, I think Abde would have put in a transfer of question. I think he was rightfully so for that. You had Ferran, Ansu, Rafinha, Dembele. He was 5th choice in 2 players starting, so would have made sense to sell him. And I did say that at the time, but I would have probably maybe fought to keep him until January, the when we got Vitor Roque in, because we just want that little bit of coverage. But then again, you have Lamine Yamal, who could be that coverage. So I think with Abde, it's crazy to know that if Dembele did end up staying, that Abde probably would have left. He wouldn't have been happy with his minutes. Again, now with that void needing to be filled, he's guaranteed some minutes in the beginning of the season. He could be given a chance at some point. It's going to be up to him to take it. But officially now, like Mateo Mauricio said a few days ago, there is a 99% chance that Abde will stay, and he has told Barcelona that he does want to stay this summer. Let's now discuss some of the injury updates surrounding Barcelona over the past 48 hours. We do have a big update on the injury of Andreas Christensen, who of course did not play in the Joan Gamper and was injured, I believe, in El Clasico, if I'm not mistaken, but looks like now he has made a full recovery. Having from AS came out saying that Andreas Christensen has fully recovered from his Achilles tendon discovered that he suffered, of course, in the Clasico, and he should be fit for the match against Getafe. Of course, we do need Christensen in that match, because he's I think, the only center back who is registered for Barcelona at the moment. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. We also heard that Araujo is also fully fit as well. Miguel confirmed that as well. No serious injury there for Araujo. Again, the players will train today, train tomorrow, then they'll be off, of course, to Madrid to face Getafe, and hopefully Andreas Christensen is in that squad list. Let's now discuss some of the news starting Barcelona over the past 48 hours. Firstly, Barcelona have renewed their contract with Konami. We did talk about this at the beginning of the summer. The club had 2 offers on the table from Konami and EA Sports to take up, of course, their rights for partnership for the video games and things like that. Barcelona were ordered with Konami, but again, the numbers for them weren't that great. But Konami are offering more money up front. Again, I mean, the numbers in terms of PES and eFootball, no one really plays PES, let's be honest. Everyone plays FIFA or EA FC nowadays. But Barcelona have announced that they have officially renewed and agreed an extension partnership for multiple seasons with Konami. Thus, Konami will continue to be Barcelona's global partner and official video game partner. The two brands intend to drive the deal forward to take the connection between the football and digital entertainment world to the next level. Konami will have access to the senior squad, among other numbers of actions, game material of the product of their successful game, and will also be able to build synchronized with the Barcelona legends, who will also serve as the first-class ambassadors for the deal. So Barcelona renewed with Konami. I think in the end, Konami were offering them more money. Of course, EAFC is still a better game, a better exposure. We are still in EAFC because La Liga have a deal with EAFC, and La Liga have some rights for Barcelona, but EA won't have the rights for, senior squad, actions gathered by the material product, and all that stuff. They won't have full face scans of the players that have what they can make up with their own editing system. But nonetheless, Barcelona renew with Konami. I mean, whatever brings the money home, essentially. Now, another avenue where Barcelona will generate a lot of money for the entirety of the season is in shirt sales, and our new third kit's official images have been leaked. Of course, these will be the images that you'll see on the Nike website when you go to purchase the third kit, and here how it's look on the screen right now. Again, it will be black font. The club badge will be black along with the Nike logo, and it will be kind of a teal, light blue color, you could say, and it will have the Blaugrana strips on the ends of the sleeve and also on the top of the collar as well. Pretty generic third kit. I usually like it when Barcelona go a bit crazy with their third kit, do something a little different, but pretty much you get the same vibes as you have gone for the past few years. Pretty plain with a weird color, if you could say the least. Again, I mean, it's very, very mid. It's not garbage. It's not fantastic. It is bang average in my opinion. Nonetheless, the players are gonna wear it. Maybe it'll look better in person, like I thought with the white kit. But this is how it's gonna look. But let me know down in the comments below if you plan on buying this kit or not. Now, another avenue in which Barcelona can earn some money from, along with shirt sales and signing deals with Konami for video games, is of course by releasing a documentary. As we all know, the club did tease this at the end of the season, saying that a new documentary will be coming out in the near future, and now the club last night released the official trailer saying the second season of Barcelona's A New Era documentary will be released on Prime Video on the 6th of September. We're still waiting for details on how many episodes, what's going to be included. That'll probably be leaked a couple days before the actual release date. I don't think anyone will care about that now. Essentially, it will be a whole entire documentary on last season's entirety, from the moment the transfer window started to the moment we lifted the League Cup in the final match. Maybe I'll be in the documentary because I was in the stadium, so hopefully the documentary cameras caught my eyes. Did I cry? I don't think I cried, so maybe they wouldn't have picked me, but I was there, so hopefully I'll be in it at some point. That was pretty cool. I was in the Barcelona video for the Jordi Alba Busquets goodbye video, so I'll take that. Nonetheless, I will make a documentary review video like I did a few months ago when they had the other documentary released, but again, this one will be more up to date. We'll see the domestic double. We'll see Barcelona crashing out of the Champions League, the Busquets departure behind the scene, Jordi Alba departure behind the scene, Piqué departure behind the scenes, getting knocked out by United in the Europa League. That's going to be big. Then losing to Granada away. That's going to be very interesting to see the dressing room at that state. Losing 4-0 to Madrid. So a lot of scenes. Of course, the celebration for the Franck Kessie goals in the dressing room as well. It's going to be crazy. So a lot of things to look forward to in this documentary that will be released the first week of September. Now, the final topic that I want to discuss before I end off this video is to give you guys the updates around Barcelona activating yet another economic lever this summer, and it is set to be announced at some point officially today. Maybe before I upload this video, maybe afterwards. We'll wait and see. Again, the club kind of have to announce it today because we got to register players for Sunday's match, and we're looking quite light there. We'll talk about that anyway. So Barcelona had to choose between either selling I think 50% of Barca Studios to a Mexican company, or like 16% to a German company. The club had to decide on that. They reached an agreement with both sides. Both sides are trying to fight for Barcelona to see if they want to strike the deal with. But Frank Martinez and Fernando Polo from Mundo Deportivo came out saying that Barcelona hoped to officially announce the resale of Barca Studio to a German company today. The agreement is already considered closed, and it was not announced today, as some communication terms, or yesterday should I say, were still being discussed. The income will be 60 million euros, and everyone will be registered. Get in. The fact I saw an article that like 14 teams in La Liga have still not registered their players. This fucking, Javier Tebas, I pray to Allah himself that he does not win this election in the winter. Also, Roger Solero and Fernando Polo, and also Roger Solero and Fran Martinez Mundo Deportivo came out saying that right now the German investment fund continues to be the first option to close the lever. Negotiation sources insist that the operation is well advanced, and Barcelona will receive 60 million euros for the resale of 60% of, or 16, should I say, percent of Barca Studios. So how it worked is that the club, of course, sold 50% or 49% last summer to Socios.com for 200 million. They've then taken they've then taken 16% of that 49% and have sold it because the Socios.com have still not paid for some of it. They've been paying it in installments. Like, hey, we'll keep our deal, but we'll just take some percent. You can keep less money. So I think now that deal for Socios that was 200 million drops down to probably like 150 or something like that. The club takes 16% and they go and they settled that on. Arnau Martinez from Deportivo also came out saying that Libera Football Finance is a German company buying 60% of Barca Studios in the return for giving up 60 million euros. It is an investment and consulting company to financially and economically guide top-level football clubs. Announcement is expected later on today. So again, now the lever has been activated to absolutely save us in the backside. Again, it's a sale that we've just taken back and we're selling it now. So it doesn't really, we don't lose money in the process. I guess you just get the money sooner than you expected. So I think it's an all-round win. And again, it's what you gotta do in order to register players nowadays. Now, on the topic of registration, there have been a few changes. There have been even some shirt number changes that we talked about earlier on. We do have that confirmation that Rafinha and Ferran Torres have officially changed their numbers. Ferran Torres has gone from number 11 to number 7, and Rafinha has taken Ferran's number 11, and he's gone, of course, from 22. So that's, of course, two big numbers, right? And that's why I think Neymar's operation is a bit difficult. I think Neymar came in, he would have taken 11, and then Ferran probably would have taken 7, and Rafinha stayed with 22, but now all these chopping and changing, and I think Rafinha deserves a bigger and stepper number. Of course, 22 is a bit mid. I think Ferran Torres now changed his number about 8,000 times. He went from 19 to 11 to 7. Hopefully we get some David Villa vibes from Ferran Torres. Nonetheless, in terms of registration, currently Barcelona have 12 players registered. They have Ter Stegen registered, Christensen registered, Eric Garcia registered, Koundé registered, Xavi, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Ferran Torres, Ansu, Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Ousmane Dembele. So the club still have the unregistered Ousmane Dembele. Again, his shirt number has been removed. He's just on the website as Ousmane Dembele, and of course his number has gone to Ferran Torres. So only, technically, Dembele's not here, so 11 players only are registered for Barcelona. So no Inaki Peña, no Roberto, Alonso, Balde, Araujo, Gundogan, Romeu. It's a mess right now. We still have to register probably another 11 players. No Lamine Yamal either, so we still have a long way to go, and we got about 48 hours to do so. So I'll give you guys updates tomorrow in the match preview video on registration. But again, the club do have a starting lineup, which is at least something. It'll be like, what, Ter Stegen in goal, back four of what, Eric Garcia right back, Koundé left back, Christensen, De Jong in the middle, Ferran, Xavi, Pedri midfield 3, then Ansu, Lewandowski, and Rafinha at the front. So that's our only lineup we have right now. Hopefully, again, those registrations will come through very soon. And when we do register these players, of course, Araujo is going to have his new contract. Balde should be having his new contract as well. Roberto's new contract, Alonso's new contract, and Inaki Peña's new contract. This is why we have to re-register these players. They can't stay registered from last year like these players, because Ansu Fati had the same contract. Ferran, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Koundé, Christensen, Eric Garcia. Which is nice to see is that Gavi's new contract has already been registered. I think they probably used that for the Franck Kessie space, which I think is great. But we'll wait and see what happens. Again, with this economic lever being activated, the club don't need any more sales to register players for this window. By the end of hopefully Saturday evening, all first team Barcelona players currently in the squad should be registered, no problem. So that was my reaction to the Barcelona news over the past 48 hours. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. The main thing I want to firstly, of course, is your thoughts on Vitor Roque not joining this summer. On Neymar, would you bring him in this summer or not? Pablo Maffeo, think he's a suitable acquisition for the right back position. Your thoughts on the sale of Franck Kessie for the price. You think Ansu Fati will be sold or not? Your thoughts on the documentary coming out, Barcelona signing with Konami, and also the new economic lever being activated. And of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.